Here in Senegal, we have two kinds of tales. The first one, we can tell tales while giving education. But the second one, we can have tale in order to do just nothing but fun. Before I start, there are words that I have to say and you will answer. Lebon, what is that in English? It means, here's a tale, and you will answer. Lupon, with all ears, we are listening.
We founded the school because it was a necessity. There weren't many schools in Wakhinane Nimzatt. It is the area where we live.
Thank you very much, Fontaine School. If you ended the interviews and talking about Fontaine, you know that I'm going to play with you, you understand? Fontaine is my half, meaning that Fontaine is part of me. Nobody can take Fontaine out of me. And I really love it. And I will every time be the defender of Fontaine, even if it costs me my studies, because when you love something, you should show something that you love it. Imagine that we had love competition, but I'm really ready to sacrifice my life, you see, sacrifice everything that I have, you see, for Fontaine, because I love you.
So I don't know if it's my mattress or mattress. Mattress is mine. Well, since it's mine, it's feminine.
The story of Fontaine School is a very particular one. So it is a school which has been made 10 years ago in an area, as we used to explain it, where there were not lots of private schools. This is one of the greatest private schools we can count now in the suburb of Guédiawaye for the quality of teaching and the good result that we have in the BAC, BFM or CFO exams.
You know, the cost depends on the parents. Some parents, for example, when we fix, we say 5,000. Some parents come and say, I can't afford 5,000 each month. Can you lower it? And so we had to accept 3,000, even 2,000, and sometimes free of charge.
It is a private school, so there is a tuition for the students. By our standards, it averages to about $10 a month.
Welcome. Welcome to you. You welcome. Welcome.
Fontaine, wish you welcome. Welcome.
Welcome again.
Welcome to you. You welcome. Welcome. Welcome to you. Fontaine, wish welcome.
This is a green day for the world. My resident will say.
And in the name of the community of all Wakhinane Nimzatt, and I measure very well my words when I say Wakhinane Nimzatt, because in this school we have 700 pupils, and each of these people come from one of the family of Wakhinane Nimzatt. We are very happy. We can't measure our happiness. So, Madam, will you come here, please? Kimberly.
I spend a lot of time with teenagers in various aspects of my life, and a common theme with them is that they are looking forward to their future and they're confused. Most of them want to do good in this world. They want to help and they just don't know how.
That's what we want to do, is make the bridge and make the connections. And how can we really connect unless we understand each other's cultures? And I just want to thank you so much for proving that this is the country of the end.
Yesterday I told you, you are no longer American people or guests, but you are part of Senegalese folks, all right? We are a small country, small school, but what makes our power, our wealth, our diversity is this nation. We're living together. Everything that is happening, we do it together. This ethnic, they are different, but they have their own story, the same story.
When we traveled to the Fontaine School, we saw that their desks were broken, in disrepair, or non-existent.
Of course, we need to buy equipment at the beginning because we can't run a school without equipment. So each month we decided to save 50,000. And so we did it up the end of the year. We had a certain amount of money, and with that amount of money we bought tables, we bought benches, blackboards, the books the teachers needed at the beginning. There was a little work to be done, a little expense.
You know that we are in a school where teachers are doing their best, and so the director, the headmaster is doing his best. That imagine there is no means.
To help the school, I think, first of all, people need material. If they have enough books, they won't need to make photocopies.
Here, we know that we are in a century of technology, and students should be introduced to computers, to so many things, but they don't have such an opportunity.
Computer is essential, I think. Even teachers don't have computers to present their courses. If there was possibility to have a computer for the school, it would be easier. And even computers for the people, because the people also must be initiated. They can't work without knowing what computer is.
I am friendly with all teachers. They all love me and I all love them. Meaning that if you have the love between teachers, students and teachers, that will help you to succeed quickly in life.
The salary for a teacher, it depends on their diploma. 1,500 per hour, 2,000 per hour, or 2,500 per hour. Those who have their masters and so on. You have 24 or 26 hours a month, or some have more, right? Even, you see, it makes a little bit money for Senegal.
As far as I'm concerned, I think that teaching is the best way of studying. When you stop teaching, you'll not be learning. We managed to work with a classroom with 40 or 50 students. Sometimes we have rooms that are really small. If we had very, wide rooms, that would be better. You can pass through ranges and try to check what students are doing.
And the rent takes a lot of money. For example, more than 600 to 650,000 each month. If we had a building of our own, we could be able to lower the prices for the pupils, and we could take more pupils. We have taught it many a time to have some money from the bank and then buy a house for a school for at least 60 million CFA, 60 million CFA francs. It's a bit, it's an amount of money. It's not easy to have. Whenever we go to the bank, they say, it's not possible.
We're an organization of very limited resources, but we did have enough to buy just some basic tools and called the interested students from the Fontaine to meet us in the lobby one morning. Anyone who wanted to learn how to repair and build desks were welcome to join us. And when I arrived that morning, I was pleasantly surprised to see maybe 20 or 30 teenagers from the Fontaine School there waiting to learn. After working with them in their own school, we traveled to a village a few hours away, and together the Fontaine students with their new skills and the students here from the United States worked together to build desks for the teachers in that community. There are well over 200 students at that school from our version of kindergarten through middle school. The government doesn't provide enough finances to feed the children. In that community, it's so rural. The average student, who again is under 12 years old, walks to school each morning in the hot African sun. I know it sounds so cliche, but they're walking 45 minutes to school each morning. Midday, the hottest part of the day, they break for lunch, but because the school cannot afford to provide meals to the children, they walk home 45 minutes after walking to school 45 minutes, returning at lunch 45 minutes, walking back to school for another 45 minutes to continue their studies for the afternoon, and then returning via foot at the end of the day on sandy roads, unpaved roads, and they're 12 years old or younger.
Are you ready?
Did you see bad things from me? They put us in the right ways. They show you how to succeed in this life. Everything you do, just be careful. Know how to put your hands, how to put your feet, how to react, how to work.
I want to be a doctor because I want to take care of sick people. It hurt me from time to time. You see, we are in a poor country. People from time to time are sick, but they won't go to the hospital because they haven't the means.
We are living in a suburb where poverty is really current. Fontaine School come and say that I'm going to help all those poor people who have talent and do not exploit it. I'm going to help them to exploit this talent in order to be known, in order to have a very good life. If you happen to see their life, it's so sad, I'm telling you. And Fontaine comes and help these students, these people, and they will be successful in life.
In one of they say, Nitay Galabam. The best medicine for a man is man himself. You see, that's it. It's a proverb I like very much, because it shows that you can't do anything without the others. Solidarity is a necessity. We must enlarge education. We must make education reality. It's very important.
It remains one of the best private, you see, school in Geriwai. Nobody could deny it, you see. So it will be better, you know. This is also something really we want to one day to see Fontaine. It's not even for us, but those who are coming, meaning the future Fontainists, you know, future Fontainists to have it.